Welcome to Fetch Quest. This is a visual novel about a character named Foro who has accepted a job to retrieve a stolen item for a shady bartender. But unfortunately for them, her companions seem to be completely useless without her. So, yeah, it seems interesting. We've got a wide range of characters here, so let's start a new game, I guess. You want my resume? After a long day of travelling, you found yourself at a shady pub in a small village. According to the villagers, it's a terrible pub. Food is stale and flavourless, drinks are expensive, and clientele are less than savoury. But you're not here to drink and mingle, are you? You're here for a job. The person didn't say anything about a resume, just said, need gold fast, adventurers wanted. Then your contact info in big, bold letters. I didn't want to get too wordy. Some of you adventurers aren't big on reading. But as you can see, you've got some competition. Bartender gestures to the only other two patrons in the bar. Hi there. Man with glasses grins enthusiastically at you. A man in chainmail gives you a curt nod. Wait, did they bring resumes? Of course. Who doesn't bring a resume to a job interview? I didn't bring one, but I gave a demonstration of my talents just before you arrived. Would you like to see, miss? I'm always up for an encore. That gives you a disgustingly flamboyant wink. Maybe we can say that for later, hey? Disgusting? I'm extremely charming. Oh. Man gives you a charmingly flamboyant wink. Air quotes aren't any better. Oh, great, you're a mind reader. Stop arguing the narrator or we're not gonna get anywhere. Wait, narrator? Uh-oh. This doesn't bode well for us, cause every time there's a narrator involved, it doesn't usually go well for unfortunate characters here. Man glances across his arms and begrudgingly starts complaining about the perfectly fine narration. Anyway, I'm not exactly swimming in gold, so I need to see what I'm working with. Slide you a napkin and a quill. Here, just write down what kind of adventure, like, things you can bring to the table. Sure. You jot down your relevant skills and hand the napkin back. Right, let me just go over these. Bartender pulls out what seems to be a metaphorically formatted resume, complete with cover letter. Discarding the numerous unnecessary pages, he finally comes to the ability and skills section. Connor, your relevant skills are make an item shine like a torch, detect magic, and ignite things that are flammable, most of which are less than helpful. You can ignite things that are flammable, like with a match? No, with magic. Connor is not nearly as embarrassed as he should be, considering his usefulness is equal to that of two sticks being rubbed together. Well, I'm sure we're going to be rubbing two or something together later. We're just going to move on that. It seems to be my only skill is making inappropriate jokes at inappropriate times. But you can also heal minor wounds with the power of prayer. And a first aid kit. Right. That will probably come in handy. Do you have any other equipment? I have a chainmail shirt. I can see that. Class can use swords too. Do you have a sword? Girl looks away sheepishly. No, I couldn't afford one after buying the chainmail. I see. Man named Connor seems ill-prepared for adventuring. May have a good shot at getting this job after all. Bartender tosses the rest of the resume into the trash. On to you, Todd. Gave a riveting performance to demonstrate your own talents, which seem to be tell you which way is north, through your voice, do sleight of hand tricks, levitate things up to 5 pounds. Great, all the power of a mediocre street magician. That last one might be pretty useful. Grecia's attempt to make Todd feel better goes, in one ear and out the other. Since he's too much of an airhead to realise his own shortcomings anyway. Man, these two are not getting along very well, are they? I can also confuse people or make them sleepy by playing my instrument. And your instrument is... Todd looks beside himself with excitement, as if he's been waiting for this question. Cause... of all the... instruments he could have chosen, it had to be a kazoo. It was like a kazoo and toots a few notes on it. It's extremely annoying. Beginning to regret your early attempt at kindness. Feeling more and more confident in my odds of getting this job. Those are all decent skills to have at a party, but not so much for adventuring. Tom looks offended. Rather than being annoyed that 2 of the 3 applicants are completely useless, Bartender seems to be fighting back a grin. Bartender picks up the napkin you wrote your own skills on. Okay, your turn, Flora. Your skills are bluffing, sneaking, trap detection and disarming, and lockpicking. Bartender smiles happily at you. Got someone useful answered my notice. Hey, why is she so much better than us? It doesn't seem like my skills are above theirs. I get the impression she was given more to work with. What? Is she higher level? Flora, let me see your character sheet. I only did what Dad told me to do. Bartender clears his throat in an attempt to curb this out-of-character discussion. You know, high level in life, given more to work with by the gods or something. I see what you mean now. Perhaps the gods thought it would be funny. Fate is cruel like that. Todd pouts and Connor rolls his eyes. They'll get over it. Alright, Flora, clearly you had the job. What about us? Yeah, are we supposed to just go home? That's up to her, so stop whining. What do you think, Flora? Do you want their help? I'm sure they'll be useful and I could use the company, or only if I get a substantially larger car without the reward. Let's just continue being nice. So pick that first option. Thanks for the vote of confidence. You won't be disappointed. I'm an excellent conversationalist. You could have asked for a bigger car to Gold, you know. That was an option, but I'm glad you didn't. Thanks. Settled then. Now, explain the details of the job I have for you. A few days ago, a shipment I was expecting went missing. A popular trade town, so it's lousy with bandits. Likely that's where it disappeared off to. Need the 3 of you to retrieve the shipment and bring it back to me within the next 2 days. Do that and I'll pay you the reward money. If you're late, deal's off. That seems like a harsh deadline. Why do you need it so soon? I've got a guy I'm selling the shipment to. He's pretty skittish, so if I miss our meet time, that's it. And it's starting to sound pretty sketchy. How much are you selling it for? Irrelevant. What is it a shipment of? Irrelevant. Why don't you just call the police? Police? You know, the kind of stumbles trying to think of the appropriate word for the story setting. Fantasy cops? Todd is, as you always, unhelpful. What's the word for it? Ye old law enforcement or city watch. Yeah, let's go with city watch. Yeah, that. Looks relieved that you saved him the annoyance of thinking of a word himself. Ah, them. They're super busy. We shouldn't go to them for help either. Busy with what? We're not doing something illegal, are we? Where exactly are you mean, this guy? You know, in case we're cutting it close on the last day, we could meet you there. Look, all I need is for you to find a group of bandits, steal back what they stole, and bring it to me before the time limit. This isn't 20 questions. You don't need to know the details. Bartender looks pointedly at Todd. And don't try to count me out and meet my guy. He doesn't like new people. He gets stabby. Trust me, this is the best for everyone involved. The best way for everyone involved. Do we understand each other? Or am I going to have to find some other group of misfits to give my business to? Come on, Todd, look at you, as if waiting for you to say something. Guess I'm technically the leader. How are we supposed to find it if we don't know what it is? We'll definitely find it, yeah, this first question. Because, yeah, we don't know what we're looking for exactly, so... She has a point. Can't possibly expect us to find something without even knowing what it looks like. Bartender grins slightly. Maybe that's part of the fun. Now who's out of character? Alright, we get it. We'll take the job. Great, it's settled then. Pretty late. I suggest you start your search tomorrow. I'm sure you'll all need a place to stay. Lucky for you, I got 3 rooms available for the night. I'll even give you a discounted rate, since we're working together for now. How generous of you. But before that, Todd pushes both Connor and you into what is surely an unwanted embrace. Let's drink. Sitting at one of the tables in the bar, the 3 of you decided to tell each other your reasons for becoming adventurers. Apparently Todd actually was a street performer before coming here. And then my village burned down, with all my stuff in it. What about your family? Didn't you say you had a sick little brother? Oh yeah, I guess that they probably died. I mean, my stuff. Todd just does not seem at all disturbed by the fact that his family might have perished. And I couldn't even do my accent anymore to make money, because, you know, your stuff, yeah, we got it. What's the point of mentioning your brother was sick? And the old woman who taught you how to ride a bike? Or the time you fell out of a tree and broke your arm? None of that had anything at all to do with your motivations. Todd's explanation was full of colourful details that ended up having no relevance to how he got there. It's called characterization. I'm sure Flora gets it. The story certainly was, entertaining. I'm glad you thought my tale of hardship and misfortune was entertaining. Can't tell if he's joking or not. Oh, that's not what I'm only teasing. Act's so serious. Makes it too easy. He gives you a playful grin and changes the subject. What about you, Mr. Shirt? What's your meticulously thought out backstory? Connor clears his throat as if he's about to give a presentation. I used to be a squire for Holy Night. One day my master was struck by a falling tree. How horrible. Connor nods gravely. It was a freak accident. The church called it an act of God, and decided my master must have been a heretic. I was orphaned at a young age, so he was like a father to me. You think you see a glimmer of a single tear in Connor's eye. More into this than I thought it would be. The church ruled that since my master was a heretic, I must be as well. They took all my possessions and cast me out for hearsay by association. Church is all I've ever known. Without it, I don't know who I am. I came an adventurer to try and do some good in the world. Perhaps that would help me find meaning in my life again. Looks away wistfully. Get the feeling he may have practiced all of that. Well, I'm godless heathen and there's plenty of meaning in my life. I'm sure you'll be fine. Knowing Todd kind of looks at you expectantly. Maybe he wants me to give my opinion on his story like I did with Todd. It was moving. Very moving. Looked like he might even start crying. Thought I might be overselling it. Carl looks pleased that you played along. How about you, Flora? Your story has to be better than whatever that was. Well, I suppose it all starts with my father. Family are locksmiths by trade. Business has always been decent. Everyone has something they want to protect. But when my father took over, the family business exploded. He was a genius. Not only was he a master locksmith, but he also had a knack for creating dangerous traps. Rich people were always looking for new, more secure ways to protect their possessions and their secrets. We became incredibly wealthy. Family intended for me to take over the business one day. Told me everything he knew. Locks and traps are essentially puzzles. He taught me how to design them and, more importantly, how to solve them. As our reputation grew, our clientele became more and more sinister. The other two leaned close as the story draws them in. Father didn't care who it was. Corrupt kings, evil cults, deranged necromancers. As long as he could continue honing his craft, he served them. I couldn't stand it. Begged him to stop. To this day, I still remember what he said to me. No. So it was like, whatever, Dad, and ran away. Well, that was kind of anticlimactic. And now I steal things. Can't seem confused at your abrupt end. So you steal things out of spite? I think you steal things from bad people for justice. Well, this or that. That's noble of you, I think. So, we make the perfect team. Let's tour the world together and become notorious conmen. The story went over well with your new companions. I'm glad they liked the backstory I came up with. Maybe you chat a while longer before turning in for a good night's rest. See you guys early tomorrow morning, right? Whatever, I'll get up when I want to get up. I get the feeling I don't want to see, if he's like it if he's woken up too early. Next morning you wake up. Let's wake up early, cause why not? Wake up feeling fresh after a good night's rest on the inn's luxurious and comfortable straw mattress. You should leave a positive review with the town crier. But you really need trying to promote your fake inn via the narrator. You say some nonsense to no one in particular as you enter the tavern. The only other people you see is Todd. He's hilling around behind the bar. Of course you're looking for a drink. Morning, sleepyhead. Appears that Todd was up before everyone else in the inn. Of course, he's a morning person. Most people always are. Oh man, this narrator is not holding back on poor Todd. Morning, what are you up to? Well, I couldn't get any sleep on those mattresses. They're so lumpy and itchy. Clearly this is a lie. It's already been established that the mattresses are both luxurious and comfortable. So I decided to come down here and see what sort of goodies this bartender is hiding. Did you find anything worthwhile? Todd does a flashy spin and makes a show of placing a cup down in front of you. Ta-da! For you, my dear leader. Very indulgent looking coffee, even with cream and caramel drizzle. Was all this stuff really here? You're not making this up, are you? Tell us. I can see why you would think that, but nope. It really does have a bunch of coffee and syrups back here. It does seem very accurate to the setting. Take a sip of the coffee. It's delicious. Just how I like it. Duh. I made it specifically for you. Remember how I take my coffee? But I only ordered it once. I was surprised at Todd's competency is understandable, but as you know, it is his job. Remembering and making drink orders is one thing his dumb lizard brain is good at. narrator doesn't seem to like me very much. Maybe the narrator is pissed he has to cover Todd's shift tomorrow morning. Yeah, well, the narrator agreed to it. He should stop acting like a brat. Fair enough. Finish your coffee and there's still no sign of Connor. Well, should we start without him? What are you planning on doing? I was just going to head out and walk around town a bit. You now gather information. You think for a moment. I guess that would be okay. Two of you head out into town. Walk around the busy town streets listening for any relevant information. Nice day, and Todd seems more than pleased to be out and about. Really does hate sitting around doing nothing. Something on your mind? You see, you smile to yourself. Oh, just that. I wonder if we'll actually get any information walking around in the open like this. Not like the bandits will just be shouting the streets. Want to be a bandit? Join the bandits. Bandits shouting in the streets, waving colourful flyers. Well, that made it very convenient for us. What luck. Two of you are approached by the bandit. Excuse me, we're interested in becoming bandits. Could we get a flyer? And looks the two of you up and down. I don't know. Couples frolicking around town on dates ain't exactly what we're looking for. Oh, we're not a couple. I'm actually a, world-class assassin. Todd finishes your life for you. Right, and he's my brother or manservant. Sure, brother. He's my brother. Yep, I'm her brother. Todd looks a little deflated. Probably wanted something more dramatic than that. And unfortunately we cannot give that to him. Oh, well, we could use a world-class assassin, I guess your brother can come too. Thanks for vouching for me, sis. Here, he hands you one of the flyers. Is anyone in this town advertised with flyers? Away from the bandit, you look it over. This is perfect. It's exactly what we're looking for. We should go back and tell Connor. If you say so, leader. I have a feeling Todd would not hesitate to leave Connor behind if he let him. Two of you make your way back to the bar. Back inside, you find Connor and the bartender eating some delicious-looking omelets. Suddenly realize how hungry you are. Is there some of that for us? Haven't decided yet. Where have you two been all morning? Well, unlike you, sleepyhead, this mission is very important to us. Went out to gather information, and guess what? You found some. Really? Notice how expression softens. I wasn't expecting that. Maybe I'll give you your omelet after all. Let's hear the information. Right, check this out. Todd beams proudly and slaps the flyer on the bar counter. Kurt leans over to read it while you and Todd scarf down your well-deserved omelets. Need gold? Want to rob? Join the bandits. Text is very large and is accompanied by crude drawings of stick figures beating and robbing other stick figures. Honestly, I don't blame them. I wouldn't be able to draw anything better, so yeah, I shouldn't be laughing about it. Assume the pictures are for the reading impaired. Flyer also details the location of the bandit hideout, as well as the password to get in it, which is password. Of course. Wouldn't expect anything less by the bandits. It isn't exactly a hideout if everyone knows where it is. How could they possibly be evading the city watch? Bartender shrugs and gives a vague, dismissive answer. Oh, you know, politics. Charles off without making any sort of point and sips his coffee. Yeah, and this password is password? What a terrible password. That's like the first thing you try. Decide not to comment on the fact that Todd may or may not have experience trying to guess other people's passwords. Not to mention everyone knows it now, so it's not even really a password. Well, now that we know where they are, what should we do? Isn't it obvious? We storm their hideout and take the shipment back. How do we propose that? Juggle at them? Confuse the information out of them by playing the kazoo badly? How dare you? I play beautifully. Who was had his kazoo as if to demonstrate? Speak up loudly before you are forced to hear his beautiful playing. We don't storm them, we join them. Kinda told them to stop bickering and to listen to you. We pretend to want jobs. While we're there, we collect information, find the item, and then steal it right out from under their noses. This player is any indication that should be easy enough. This is the obvious choice, but Connor and Todd seem amazed that you came up with it. That would probably work. Great idea, Flora. That's our leader. This seemed like the best option. Three of you continue to discuss your plan for a while and then head out. Three of you follow the map on the fly and find yourself in front of what looks to be a rundown inn. Is this really it? I was expecting like some tents in the woods, or a conveniently laid out system of caves. Well, if they're stealing goods in town, I suppose it would be more efficient to have their hideout close by. You decide to stop loitering and knock on the door. Or since you're good at bluffing, you should do most of the talking. Right, got it. What? But I want to do stuff. But I'm good at bluffing too, you know. Only when trying to flirt their way into stuff and trying to fuck dragons and whatever other monstrosities are out there, you know. I do know, but I'm worried what kind of jobs we'll end up with if you talk to them. Door to the inn opens slightly, stopping the conversation in its tracks. You see the shadowy outline of a bandit behind the door. Password? Password. Bandit grunts in what you assume is approval. Who are you and what do you want? Probably shouldn't give your real name, so you decide to make some up. I'm Carl Crasher. These are my companions. Gesture at Connor. Bob Basher. And then you gesture at Todd. And Steve Smasher. What names? We're here because of the flyer. We're really passionate about crime. Well, those do sound like real bandit names. Come on in. Convinced by iteration, the bandit opens the door and lets you in. Alright, you lot. I am the head of the recruiter here. If you want to be bandits, I'll give you an interview. Yep, that's just a bartender again. You can see the bandit in full now. He's a large, menacing man with a mustache and a scar across his face. That's definitely not what I am seeing. Yippies, I was about to say this. Nothing like the man we see before us. Yeah, this guy sounds suspiciously like the bartender. I don't know what you're talking about. Just look at me. I'm clearly a different person. Bandit recruiter strokes his mustache. Nope, still not seeing it. Maybe if you did a different voice. Bandit recruiter does not need to do a different voice because he is in fact a different person. Say it all you want, we're still picturing the bartender. Interview question 1. And it suddenly starts the interview. Bob, you're walking along a forest path, and travelling the other way stops you and asks, so, what's 36 times 16? Is this an interview or pop quiz? What is your response? 576. Wrong. Excuse me, it's definitely right. Who's giving the interview here? Next question, Steve. Selling a stolen horse for 5 gold, 18 silver, and selling it to gives you 1 platinum. How much change do you give him back? None. Stab the man, take his coin and keep the horse. Correct. Okay, thank you, Todd. You answered that really quickly. You never said these were trick questions. They'd be trick questions if I told you, would they? Can't remember something about being at a disadvantage by going first. Last question. We only get 1 question each. Well, your chance, Steve. You're Steve, idiot. Quiet. These questions are only to decide your ranks. So wait, we're already hired? We're low on manpower. We have to take what we can get. Oh man, if I'd known that, I wouldn't have tried so hard. And a recruiter turns to you. Carl, what is your favorite color? Are these still trick questions? The recruiter shrugs as if to say, they can't all be winners. Get the feeling the person writing these questions might have phoned that one in. It's purple? Oh, I was going to go with red, because the color of blood and whatnot. Correct. Or maybe purple because of the color of bruises, I guess. How would you know she's correct? This concludes the interview. Now on, you'll be working together as a 3-man team. Steve, your answer shows you have low moral standards and wouldn't hesitate to screw over others for your own gain. Clearly management material, you're the supervisor. Glad someone recognizes my talent. Carl, you answered correctly but there was some hesitation. Your assistant supervisor. Oh, so she'll be like my... You see Todd's mouth forming the word secretary and shoot him a murderous glare. Glare. That word. Second in command. More like the co-supervisor. You seem lazy. I don't know if I trust you to supervise alone. But since you answered your question like a nerd, you'll be the grunt. You report to these two. God damn it. Leave the poor nerd alone. You see Connor's annoyance at being called a nerd by someone role-playing as a medieval bandit. So I have 2 supervisors. Isn't that kind of redundant? No talk like that is why you're a grunt, Steve. You're Steve. Anyway, here are your employee handbooks. Bandit Recruiter hands each of you a large stack of parchment. Read them over and sign them where marked. I have some other bandit stuff to do, so I'll be back to check on you later. Without further discussion, the bandit recruiter leaves you to your busy work. You finish reading your employee handbook pretty quickly. Bandits tend to use small words. You sign an initial what seems like every other page. After a while trying to look busy, the recruiter finally returns and collects your paperwork. He dismisses you for the day. According to the handbook, each of you has been given a room to stay in. From now until tomorrow morning, we have free time. 3 of you decide to split up and look for information about the stolen shipment. Todd mentions something about water cooler talk and heads towards the mess hall. Connor, unsure of what he can do to help, decides to head upstairs to the infirmary. I should check each floor for locked doors or possible traps. That's likely to be where the shipment has been kept. Methodically make your way through each floor of the inn, checking for signs of secrecy. Although there doesn't seem to be a single locked door in the whole hideout. Don't find any statues or items either. Maybe this is the wrong bandit group? Decide to go check on the others. Who do we check on first? Let's check on Connor first. Head towards the infirmary first to check on Connor. Find him as he's leaving. How was the infirmary? Was anyone injured? No, it was just a few guys with food poisoning. Don't eat the chicken nuggets, by the way. Ew, noted. Tried asking about the shipment, but I couldn't manage to get much out of them between all the puking. Ew. How about you? Did you find anything? No, which is very strange. There isn't so much as a stolen wallet anywhere to be found. Couldn't even find any records. No list of names, inventory, accounts, robbing schedules, nothing. That's even more odd. How do you mean? Well, we filled out paperwork when we got here, and it was pretty thorough stuff. Just seems odd that they would give us so much paperwork to do, but not keep any other kinds of records. Oh, you're right. I didn't even come across the handbooks when I searched. I'm sure I checked all the rooms. Where could they be keeping them? Secret rooms, because wouldn't be bandits without a secret room or two filled with all their loot. Two of you decide to see if Todd has found anything and head towards the mess hall. As two of you are walking down backstairs, Connor suddenly pauses in front of a stretch of blank wall. Found something. Something wrong? This just... Connor looks at the wall with a mix of concern and annoyance. Doesn't this wall make you feel weird? Look at the wall and try to pick up on its vibe. It just seems like a wall to you. No, I don't feel anything. Maybe it's nothing then. Giving up too easily, Connor continues walking. You however know that there is probably reason this wall was brought to your attention. Is it magic or flammable? Yeah, it's probably magic. Because the wall is magic. Cool that Connor has the ability to detect magic. Yeah. You feel around on the wall and find a door. Connor stops and turns back to you. A door? Mustn't be hidden with magic. That's why the wall makes you feel weird. Oh, that's right. I forgot I could do that. Connor comes closer to the wall and eyes it suspiciously. Yeah, that's definitely what it is. Good job remembering for it. Honestly, I didn't remember, but just happened to luckily pick the right option. Connor feels for the door and tries to open it. It's locked. Flora, can you pick it? Of course. Get to work picking the lock. A few minutes you hear the click of victory. Two of you enter the hidden room and close the door behind you. Ooh, hidden library. You notice the paperwork you filled out earlier stacked neatly on a table. This must be where they keep all the records. Connor pulls a random book off the shelf and flips it open. Yeah, these are all bandit handbooks and logs. Should be able to find some information about the shipment in here. You each take a handful of books off the shelf and start looking for useful information. The logs don't seem to be organized in particular order. Take a book from the top of the stack and read the title. Catchphrases to shout at adventurers in battle. Oh god, that is giving me flashbacks to fucking Monkey Island games. God. Please don't tell me we're gonna have one of those moments in this game, because I don't want to have to go through that shit again. Put the book aside, you grab another. Trouble Roots and you. How to not become the target of stealth attacks. This might take a while. Two of you sit together at a table looking through the books. Connor diligently flips through each book in his stack before returning them to their shelves and grabbing more. You, however, can already feel your mind starting to wander. And I just had a quick nap. Everything's okay. We're good. Waking to find yourself still in the library. Put your face on the book you were drawing into and knows you've been wrapped in something warm. Aw, Connor's click. Must have covered me with it while I was sleeping. Aw, thank you, Connor. That's cute. You smile to yourself. More pleased with this cliche act than you probably should be. Connor's still sitting next to you, probably with the book in his hands. Doesn't seem to notice you're awake. Turn his cloak by tossing it over his head. Gives a small start and tingles himself. You're awake. Sorry about that. I'll grab another stack and get back to searching. That's okay, I think I found what we're looking for. That's the book Connor is reading. Found what we're looking for in Notorious Nicknames Volume 2, Missing Body Parts? Oh, I actually found the information a while ago. I'll just read these to pass the time. And you could have woken me up? You did? Why didn't you wake me up? Connor shrugs. You looked cute sleeping. How can you say things like that to other people but get embarrassed at the slightest bit of praise? Anyway, here's what I found. Takes one of the books from the stack in front of him and holds it up. It's a list of stolen goods coming in and going out of the hideout. Looks like anything worthwhile that the bandits steal is catalogued in here, then sent to the storehouse somewhere in town. There are a few records of shipments that were stolen around the time the bartenders went missing. What we're looking for is probably at that storehouse. Connor, that's great. So this is an opportune moment to tease him. Give him a victory hug. Tell him you couldn't have done it without him. That victory hug it is. Hell yeah. Pull Connor into a victory hug. Yes, thanks. Seems like he's having trouble controlling the volume of his voice. Not cute. Clears his throat and continues, breaking away from me. But couldn't find any information about where the storehouse is. Think for a moment. It's possible that the location is only known to a select few in the order to prevent information leaks. I had to come up with a plan to figure out who knows where it is. Satisfied with the information you've gathered and your comfy nap, you decide to leave the library. Hopefully Todd hasn't gone up to too much trouble in the meantime. Two of you head to check on Todd. Peer into the mess hall and see that he's still recklessly drinking and gambling with the other bandit, because of course he is. Look like he's made himself the center of attention. You almost think he'd rather be playing as a bandit. Decide to leave him be. You and Connor say goodnight and return to your rooms. Next morning you'll go over the information you found. So we just have to figure out where the storeroom is? Todd starts glancing around at the buildings you walk by, as if none of them is going to be labelled stolen goods storehouse. It's not as easy as it sounds. This is a pretty large town, so we're unlikely to find it by chance. Our best bet is to find an item valuable enough to be taken to it. Then, when somebody leaves the hideout, we follow them. Interrogate them? See, there is going to be a difference of opinion on how to move forward. For now, let's just figure out how to meet our quota. Three of you are on thug duty, and have been given a minimum of gold to steal by the end of the day. Well, that should be easy, right? You're a thief. You should be able to pickpocket that amount in no time. I can't steal from innocent people. It's against my alignment. So, what? It's not against mine? How about you, Flora? I do like stealing, but it's against my personal code to steal from innocents. Give Todd an apologetic look, as if her morals is something to be sorry for. We'll have to find another way to make money. Can we ever do things the easy way? So, what should we do? Think for a moment, what can the three of you do to quickly make money? Put your money at the racetracks or offer your services on the streets? I say, fuck it, let's go to the racetracks, because what could go wrong, right? Well, take all the gold we have, and we bet it all on trucks. The tracks? Sure, it only takes one to strike and rich. Todd, you're good at gambling, right? I like gambling, but I prefer games that I can, cheat at. Pretty much, yeah. The two seem worried, but you're the leader. You can't second guess yourself now. Oh god. Head for the racetracks and, at Todd's request, bet all your gold on the horse with the coolest name. Horse flamers down the side, comes in dead last. God damn it. To exchange to return to the bandit hideout, you all go your separate ways. Flora returns to her father and begs for his forgiveness. Connor tries to return to the church and repent, but they reject him. He becomes that creepy hobo with a sign that shouts at you about God while you walk down the street. No one ever sees Todd again. You assume he's dead. Wait, why am I the only one who dies? Why do you get to decide what we do? Because only one of you even bothered to make a character before coming here. Without my excellent storytelling skills, you'd be nothing. But now get out of my house. I have to get up early tomorrow. Got a bad end of racetrack. Whoops. Okay, don't go to the racetracks and offer my services. Offer our services on the street. Boy, that's so forward of you. That's not what I meant. I'm gonna heal the sick. Stand up on the street and he can heal minor wounds for gold. Well, that's a pretty good idea. Boring. Alright, let's give it a try. Excuse me, do you need healing? That's by propositioning Harry's past trying not to make eye contact. So you look like crap, just shut up and let me heal you. That's not how you're gonna get business, Connor. You need a better bedside manner. Man, Connor's harassing just the same. This isn't going very well. If you set up in an area that seemed ideal, but you haven't had any luck finding patrons. Now I know how these mall kiosk workers feel. They don't look very legitimate. Maybe they're worried because of that. That's because you don't have any showsmanship. Todd Sizer gets up from where he's sitting, cuts his hand around his mouth and begins shouting. Come on, come on! Come see the miraculous miracles of Melvin the Magnificent. Melvin. People are starting to direct their attention towards Connor, and the crowd begins to gather. He used to be blind, but with a single prayer session, for the low price of X amount of gold, I was granted the miracle of sight. Voice in the crowd speaks up. Must not be very good. You're wearing glasses. Connor smirks. I didn't like him very much, so I only half healed him. These are for fashion. Moving on. Behold, with a single word, Melvin is capable of wondrous magic, such as... Todd gestures for him to show his wondrous magic, but Connor falters. Decide to offer some advice before the crowd turns on him. I should tell Connor to make something shiny, or tell him to levitate something. Sure, make something shiny. Make something shiny. Right. Shine. Connor points at a nearby bucket and begins radiating golden light. Well, that was 2 words, but you get the idea. Connor looks relieved and gives you a thankful nod. Group of girls in the crowd scream. Oh my god, a magic bucket? I have to see it. That's my future husband. I call him. No way he's mine. Whoever gets the bucket gets Melvin. This is a scuffle for the bucket, but Todd quickly levitates it to himself. X amount of gold for the magic bucket. X more and he will sign it too. Ever the opportunist. Pressed by the magic bucket, the crowd lines up for various blessings from Melvin. Hell yeah. I mean, that's one way to go about it. A few hours of blessings and a surprising number of marriage proposals, he met your gold quota. Connor looks exhausted from all the attention, but Todd seems energetic. It was pretty fun, even though we were helping people. As the three of you head back to the hideout, you voice something that's been bothering you. You didn't get any items though. According to the info we got, the only thing is taken to the storehouses are valuable items, not gold. Can't be sure that whoever moves things from the hideout to the storehouse will go tonight. About that. He takes something out of his pocket and tosses it at you. A small vial of purple liquid. What's this? It's a potion I liberated from one of our less generous patrons. You stole this? Don't worry, quiet boy. I made sure he was evil first. Guy cut the line in front of some sick peasant girl. He was asking for it. Connor looks conflicted about whether or not cutting line warrants being branded as evil. Well, we don't have much of a choice. Hopefully this will work. Pocket a potion and continue on your way. Back at the hideout, you present your haul to the bandit recruiter. Wow, this is a ton of gold for your first day. Thanks, I shoplifted a lot in high school. It shows, and you said you stole an item. Present the potion to the bandit. Bandit examines the bottle for a while. Mind you can feel Connor getting nervous and Todd getting bored. And what does it do exactly? Not sure what the potion actually does. Had to think of a good lie to make it seem valuable. It's full of caffeine. It can kill a dragon. Potion is so strong it can kill a dragon, let alone a man. Bandit raises his eyebrow in surprise. Really? Heard that potions like these are very hard to acquire. Bandit slides the vial into his pocket. I think my newest recruits would not only steal over their quota, but bring such a rare item. Guys will go far in this organization, I can tell. Don't forget me when you're infamous. Bandit recruiter goes to check on the other groups, leaving the three of you alone. We did it. Did you think he'll take it to the... Or do you think he was take it to the storehouse? Sure seemed like it. Nice bluffing for her. Thanks. Three of you celebrate quietly while keeping an eye on the bandit recruiter. Later that evening, the bandit recruiter has finished checking in with everyone. When it looks as though he is going to lead the hideout, you put your plan into motion. Alright, here goes. It's hard you follow the bandit at a distance, using your stealth skills to keep yourself hidden. Very so often you drop glowing stones that Connor prepared beforehand. Since Connor and Todd aren't as adept at hiding, they're following your trail from further behind. After following for some time, you turn down a dead-end alleyway. Nothing but a door at the end of the alley, and the bandit is nowhere to be seen. Found you. Is this it? Connor and Todd are caught up now. It seems like it. You tell Connor and Todd where to hide so they won't be seen, and keep watch on the door. After a while, the bandit exits from the door and heads back in the direction of the hideout. Get the signal and Connor and Todd reappear. Three of you approach the storehouse. Door are two long combination locks. Username and password. Connor reads the writing above the locks. Alright, Flora, this is your thing. Right. Don't think I'll have to pick these. I bet we can guess the answers. Do you think they use the same password as the hideout? That's pretty common. I think we can assume that's true. But then what about the, username? Set the password combination lock to password. What do you think the username is? Probably username. If the password is password, then the username is probably XX Bandits Rule XX. Probably admin. And you put the most default username you can think of into the lock. Here a click. Yep. Guess, of course it would be. Okay, it's open. Three of you enter the storehouse. Oh my god, there's a cute little monkey over there. With a very fabulous mustache. Inside you do see a number of tantalizing, available looking items. Right, don't touch anything unless I say so. But Connor and Todd freeze in the middle of attempting to touch things. God damn it, you two. It's like I'm a babysitter. There's a sign in the door that says, "Don't look up." Is this a trap? The other two have noticed as well. I guess we shouldn't look up. You can't tell me what to do, sign. You decide that. Connor's right. Tell them to look up anyway. Connor's right. Tell them not to look up. Sure, let's look up, see what happens. Connor's right. We should listen to the sign. Questioning the sign's authority, look up anyway. A lot of spiders on the ceiling, like, a lot. So many spiders, but I don't do anything trap-like. Just up there doing normal spider things. Great, so thankfully none of us are arachnophobic, right? Right. Yeah, understand the sign now. Todd grins and ruffles your hair. As my leader, defiant to the end. Thank you, Todd. Apparently you know some shipping crates towards the back. Which one do you think is the one we're looking for? Maybe we should open them? Sure, don't open that one though. Point to a crate that is shivering slightly. Jewel is leaking from its lid. Ew. Okay, yeah. Definitely don't open that one. Unless it's a cute puppy, then absolutely open it. Alongside I printed the words, definitely not a mimic. Okay, mimic it isn't. Pretty sure that's a mimic. It groans in disappointment as you pass it by and open the 2 remaining crates. Aw, poor mimic, he was just trying to do his job. Inside, you find coffee beans. And this one is just has a slip of paper that says the real treasure was the friend inside you all along. I don't think that's how that goes. Which one do you think it is? Florist leader, you should probably pick. Which one is the bartender's missing shipment? Probably the poorly worded trope. I think it's the paper. Guess that sort of makes sense. Dan does love stupid story tropes, you're probably right. That's what I'm saying. No one named Dan in this story, but the bartender happens to be an excellent storyteller. Would he really misquote such a famous trope? You're not confident in your answer, but you made your choice. Turn to the bartender and show him your spoils. Better that you would think a slip of paper is what he was trying to sell. Doesn't pay you and express the fact that you are terrible adventurers around to other potential quest givers. Now out of work, you all decide to go your separate ways. Fro returns to her father and... Okay, we already read through all this. Connor's kidnapped by fangirls and is forced to live with them as Melvin the Magnificent. No, not Connor. And Todd dies again. Okay, what bad ending? Wrong crate. Aw. Okay, maybe it could have been a good thing, but I did make a save just before then, so... Yeah, let's try coffee beans. Maybe it was the mimic. Pretty sure it's the coffee beans. I remember seeing coffee at the bar, yeah. Which is what I figured, but... Dan does love coffee, you're probably right. No one named Dan in the story, but the bartender did have a lot of coffee. Pretty sure you made the correct choice. Maybe they got some exotic stuff. You should get this out of here and head for the bar before it gets dark. You and Connor busy yourself with the crate. Suddenly you hear the beginnings of a melody on a familiar, annoying instrument. Turn to see Todd. Eyes closed playing kazoo. Eyelids start to feel heavy. Todd, what are you doing? Remember how Todd can put people to sleep with his music? Oh, you sneaky son of a bitch. You're double-crossing us, aren't you? God damn it. Todd! He had to crash and turn to see Connor slumped on the ground next to the dropped crate. You dickhead. With one last curse, he closes his eyes and falls asleep. Unable to resist Todd's barbaric spell, you fall to the floor. Night-night, sleepyheads. You feel yourself fade into deep sleep. Okay, what do you want to do now? I take anything that looks valuable and isn't nailed down, including the crate of coffee. You wouldn't really be able to carry all that yourself, but I'm ready for this to be over, so sure. What do you do with all this stuff? I take it back to the bartender. He's a fence, right? He is. Perceptive of you. Great, then I let him take the crate himself and ask for a cut selling everything else. Fine, he pays you for the stuff he stole. Are you done now? Yep, I disappeared to another country and live a life of luxury. Todd looks pleased with this outcome, but Dan seems a little dejected. Couldn't you play along just this once? Went for his first game. That wasn't my intention. For I didn't ruin it for you, did I? A little. I don't think you ruined it. I think you've been playing how you wanted to play, right? Try to remain diplomatic. I'm sure next time will be better. It will be if Connor and Todd actually make their characters. At least you followed my instructions for her. Connor looks away sheepishly. Thought we were making them together. There were too many things to read. I got bored. Next time I'll hold your hands and we'll make sure everyone is ready. Anyway, I had to get up early tomorrow, thanks to someone. If I knew you were going to complain this much, I'd never ask you to cover my shirt. So I'd appreciate it if you guys could hurry up and leave. I'm even upset with how the game went. I mean, it could have gone better, but everyone packs up their things and gets ready to leave. Connor and Todd head out together, bickering the entire time. Help Dan clean up the mess on the table before heading to the door. Good work in the morning too. I'll see you tomorrow, Dan. Yeah, see you later then. Don't worry, even though we got a bit off track, I thought your story was fun. Oh, really? That's good to hear. I think that might have eased his mind a bit. I'll make sure this next story is even better. If you want to play again, that is. I look forward to it. Say goodbye to Dan and head home. And that's it. But from what I know, there are several other endings to this, but I'm not going to be going and getting them. But man, that was a fun little visual novel. Definitely did not see the betrayal at the end. God damn it, Todd. Always the people you least expect. But anyway, if you guys want to play this for yourself and see the rest of the endings, link will be down in the description below, and yeah, we'll be moving on to the next game.